Good morning and welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Konas. It is Monday, and you know on Monday we do the Monday Roundup. To join me in doing that is my co-host, the presidential candidate, Bwana JASIEl NJAU. Should I call you Your Excellency?
Roger, you're coming now. You're coming. So far, congratulations, sir. It is a privilege and a pleasure.
Yeah.
Levi Konas.
This is the first Monday of December.
Yes.
Can you believe it? It's December already.
Yeah, and we thank God for this far.
Yeah.
That even being a co-host, and even to the fact that you can actually say it from your own mouth, the words presidential aspirant. When we started, it was a very far-fetched thing. I thank God.
But now you're presidential aspirant. Speaking of presidential aspirant, let me start this way before we move to a rather sad event that happened. Alfred Mutua, one of your competitors, alitoa manifesto jana. Wapi yako? In his manifesto, by the way, he wants swimming pools to be built. He wants to give newlyweds 500,000. Uliona? 500 to 1 million. 1 million. Na pewa uanze maisha, you know. He's got good things in there.
You know,
what did you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, for the viewers that are watching, this is JASIEl NJAU, your presidential candidate, 2022, the alternative choice. Mambo mapya, mambo fresh. And as I've always stated, this race is between three people: the DP William Ruto, Baba, and JASIEl NJAU. Hao wengine ni others, siwatambui mbui. Siwatambui mbui. So hizi packages zote, my other competitor, you are saying he's not a competitor, the others. The couples 1 million. You know, bro, man, it sounds nice, but let's be practical.
Yeah.
I think Kenyans are tired of vipindire. Okay? Kenyans need reality. My manifesto, and I told you.
Which is coming out when?
Let me tell you, I told you. I have three major pillars. My first pillar is fighting corruption. Because of all the other guys, I think I'm better placed to fight corruption. My second pillar, nitakwambia tukilaunch chama. Ya tatu, nitakwambia nikilaunch chama.
Unasema utaki wengine waibe.
Usitaki wengine waibe. Sasa hii ni 1 million. Boss,
let's move on to the things that had.
It's a Gaddafi move. Yeah. He's pulling a Gaddafi move. But is the economy in a state where you can do that?
We'll wait to hear what you have up your sleeve.
Thank you, sir.
Some very sad things happened. The first thing, and we cannot play this clip obviously because of being actually sensitive to those people that have sadly perished. There was the Good Shepherd Church, the choir that perished in River NJAU. The clip was there. I think a lot of us saw it on social media, and of the bus and the guy nudging the bus to come. Alafu kapoteza mwelekeo. What are the things that came to your mind?
Well,
which first of all, by the way, poleni sana to all who are affected and bereaved.
You know, kuna tofauti ya mwalimu na mwanafunzi. One ni ujuzi, mwingine ni ujanja, which kuna ujinga. When I saw that driver, I just said, man, you should have just, even from a driver's
He had waited for 2 hours.
Yeah. You know, it's better you wait even another 5 more hours than exit. Okay? It was not proper. It was, for me, I don't want to sound, I don't want to be derogatory about it, but he was not smart enough. That's not a movie.
A lot of blame is on the driver. Yeah. But I'll tell you this. Yeah. Apparently, every story has got a backstory to it. Before this bus crossed, there were 2 vehicles that had crossed, 2 proboxes and a matatu. Successfully, same place. The guy was waiting. A couple of things I think many of us who have crossed some of these rivers need to be aware of is that sometimes some of the water passing there is not water that has rained there. Menyesha kwingine inakuja. So there's a chance of also increase with time. So kama mimi nilipita ikiwa low, 1 hour later could be a much higher level. Yeah. That's one. 2, he had waited for 2 hours. And the people around him also got impatient. And not only they get impatient in terms of, you know, they are going to a function, they're going for a wedding. I mean, we have all been to these functions. Unasikia ile pressure yani. Tulikuwa tufike saa 6, saa hii time inaenda, we just nini. And then you have seen some small vehicles like proboxes pass. So you have a bit of that could happen. Then you have experts in the river who are telling you, you know, pitia hapa. And then the issue of weight. Apparently they talked about getting more people on the bus so that it could be heavier. Isisukumwe na maji. So there were some people who were charged 50 bob to cross. Are you aware? That is why as of last night we had 33 dead. In a bus capacity, I think it's about 45 or so, but I'm sure it was carrying a lot more people than 45. So you've got all these people inside. The bus is crossing. Supposed to be waiting. The guy does not know you see, if he knew the river, if he was a guy who crosses there, he would know if bridge upendukanga hapa, because now hatuioni. So you know they fell off the bridge. You know that's from what you see on the bridge. They went off the bridge. So for them to go off the bridge, it also means that the guys also who are guiding them were not at the edges of the bridge.
It's like
this one guy was saying, Peter, but you're one person. This bus is like...
It's like a football match.
You know.
The greatest players are the ones who are watching. Angefunga hivi.
Angependuka hivi. So we have a lot of that going on. And then to add to that, when the bus, of course, tipped over, there's panic. If you're inside the bus, the windows are not open, all of you are trying to get out. Chances of drowning are higher, even if you're a swimmer. Utashikiliwa na watu. It's just so bad on so many levels. But there's one question.
And then it has been recorded. People are there witnessing.
Of course, people are always recording. Squeezy, they say, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always someone with a camera. The question, though, we need to ask ourselves, away from the very tragic event, because you know, they say last year there was a probox that was carried away. The year before that, there was a vehicle carrying charcoal. The question we need to ask ourselves is, why is there no bridge? I saw some leaders there from Ukambani. Why is there no bridge?
Let me add, is my competitor the same one who said we need to teach students how to swim to avert such and such?
Yeah, but that's not his county.
Yeah, but
that's Kitui County.
Look at his thinking. Look at his thinking. Look at his thinking. You know, in terms of bad leadership.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't just now...
So clearly we know it rains and the thing overfloods.
Yeah. So...
And we have had an experience before.
Yeah.
Imebeba kitu kabla.
Yeah. It's not the first time.
It has also killed 2 people in the charcoal truck, 5 people in the probox. We had to wait for them to be 33.
Okay. There's another angle I wanted to bring, but anyway,
unaficha hizo kwa your manifesto.
Go to our first episode.
I tell you,
you'll understand.
Those are questions, you know, you ask yourselves in the, and it's really sad that, you know, so much loss of life has been. But, you know, some of those people are very young, and they're even kids.
Then you are singing on your way.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But bottom line, if you're watching us and you know it's flooding right now, Ken have even announced Kura. Some roads are flooded more than others. It's a December where it's wet. Hakuna haja. If you're going to be late, be late.
Yeah. Because
you'll be late in life. It's better to be late than, you know, to be the late.
I agree.
Okay, let's move on because we must. Experts have ranked Kenya's capital, Nairobi, the best city to work in the continent, jumping 50 places from last year due to the ease of settling and finding houses. Hapa CBD Nairobi, ona city yetu vile hapo. This is the best place to work in juu manyumba zinapatikana. Your thoughts?
My thoughts, Nairobi is also about to pass Joburg as the skyscraper city. Nairobi also happens to be the most expensive city to live in. My pain when it comes to Nairobi. Nairobi also hosts the largest slum in Africa.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding others who have been there who could have done other things to sort out the issue of the slum. So if expatriates are building up the city and they are glorifying and magnifying it, hakuna shida.
They said ease of settling and finding houses. You know, that jumped at me. Can I tell you what my thoughts are? Unajua, the reason why they are saying ease of settling and finding houses is because we just drive to Kilimani here to Ngong Road. Utapata a lot of flats, apartments that have come up that are empty. Some of them have got 30% occupancy, 40% occupancy, things like that. You know why? The guys who are building those places are building them for rental incomes of upwards of 60, 70, 90, 110. Now, if you're going to pay rent for 60K or 70K, how much are you earning?
About 150, 140.
150, 150, 140. By the way, that's bad maths because you're supposed to be paying a third of your income as rent. But let's say you're doing the bad maths over half. You're earning there 140, 150.
Yeah.
Now, we have a statistic in this country that income earners of 100,000 and above, 100,000 and above, are 2%.
Add on to that.
Of our population.
Add on to that. Add on to that. 90% of our population, 90% have less than 1 million shillings in the bank account.
90%, yes.
So
these houses are bound to be empty.
Exactly.
The guys you're building for our Toshi
are not locals, are expatriates.
That's why they can say
it's ease
of finding.
And that's why my pain is coming back. What are we doing about the slum?
Yeah, they can say that, yeah.
You see?
So the reason why we've got this post is because, not because we are doing so well, but because we are, a large majority of us
and you know all the
not well off.
International bodies, most of the international bodies, their headquarters is here.
Yeah.
When you look at the geopoliticalness of Nairobi, okay, Nairobi is like Amsterdam. From Amsterdam is 4 hours flight anywhere in Europe and the rest. Nairobi is also 4 hours flight if you're looking.
To most African cities.
Yeah. So Nairobi becomes the Amsterdam. So those guys who are building those houses, they are considering those guys. My pain is, what about Mtukawa? Mbogi ya mtaani, watu wa Zambia.
They are considering presidential candidates.
You know, we need to consider our people, my people. How can we upgrade them?
But when you're president, utaishi wapi?
Nani? Si nyumba ni state house. Sasa unauliza swali na mnajua.
Wewe unataka kuishi na the masses.
Ati? Sasa unajua
serikali imekupatia nyumba.
Serikali imekupatia nyumba na imekupatia kazi. Sasa mimi nakataa bro. Ukiulizwa. Na unajua mimi boy wa Islam. Sasa nimekuja nimeamua hii ndio nyumba yako. Sasa nasema acha niingie ni.
Huwezi kazaa baraka za Bwana, I tell you.
Ameshuka kama nyamadhira.
Let's go to the picture of the day. This one was by Newsday about the rebranding of the Entebbe airport. You've got to see it to believe it. You know, this was Entebbe International Airport. Wakashindwa kulipa madeni. China waka reclaim. Wakasema it's now called Welcome to the China EBB International Airport. Does this give us goosebumps?
Now, road and belt, Chinese.
And you know, by the way, if you look at how many countries in Africa owe China, the biggest African country that owes China the most debt is Angola. Over $25 billion in debt. Yeah? And then we have the Central African Republic. Yeah? You know who's number 3? Kenya.
That's I'm coming. Maliza.
Kenya. We are not even as high as Uganda. Na Uganda wameshindwa na deni.
Unaona Zambia? Zambia. They took over Kenya Power at Zambia, the electric company.
Yes, they did.
And they are now even putting cops, Chinese cops on the road. Okay? Now here's the thing. When we borrowed from Chinese, we didn't borrow from the government. We borrowed from the banks. When we get money from these multilaterals, the IMF and the World Bank, okay, it's bank. The interest rate is 1%. The Chinese banks, this is collateral. You place collateral so that when you default to pay the debt, they come. So this is bank, and they're doing it on 4%. The beauty of IMF and World Bank, they always have a debt cancellation. Chinese will never do debt cancellation. When a new government came into place in 2002, the World Bank sat down and said, hey, look, Moi has agreed to leave, let's cancel the debt. Now, our debt, over 50% of our debt, is going to Chinese banks. In my government, When we come in, man, when you laugh, I feel I'm making headways. If I can convince you,
in your
in my
government,
government,
yeah,
we will revisit this issue. You know why?
How will you write off debt?
Currently,
Ya China. Na China wanaoperate kama Okash.
wacha nikwambie.
Unaona vile wanapeleka watu mbio.
Wacha nikwambie.
Ushaingia SGR ukaona even some of the signage. You know, it's English but it's like Chinese English. It's like a direct translation of the Chinese language.
This is a debt trap. Okay? Now, US and Europe are countering the road and belt thing for Chinese. They have started what is called Build Back Better. Now, is different. If they come and build the road, like let's say a highway from coast to the border,
which has become a problem, so I'll back off.
Skiza, when they do that, theirs is responsible. They get their money back through the tolls, then they give you back your thing. If they agree, it's 10 or 7 years. Chinese, you place collateral. In my government, we'll have to revisit that because right now, as we stand, even a child who's not born, and now serikali 150,000, 140,000. So we need to reconsider that because if we don't, yes, there's need for us to worry. But could it be?
Yeah, I think those of you that are running for presidents.
Could it be? Could it be?
Should you become presidents and you're one of your competitors? Mungu saidia. Should you become president?
Yeah, you'll be foreign affairs.
Una offer your job sana. Mimi sitaki makezi.
Hakuna kesi.
Sitaki maskandal. Sitaki mavitu. Yeah,
so ninakutrust. Ikizungu yako utatusaidia huko
nje. Should you be? One of the first things I think presidential aspirants should do is tell us, or whoever is new president, tell us exactly how much debt we owe. Afungue tu hiyo saba.
So our meaning is 7.2.
No. Give us the exact. You remember one time there were some guys who met some of our journalists. They met President Uhuru in Mombasa, and then they told him, we don't even know the SDR deals. We don't know what has happened. Then he said, I'll give you all the paperwork. Mata kuona mtaona. We've never seen the paperwork. We need just to get a feel of. I mean, it's us who have been put in debt as Kenyans. Yeah. We need to know how. Like where you go to the bank and you just ask to look at your papers.
Or like the way you show your wife your PIN number.
Just audit too.
Your PIN number.
Okay, right. That's
what you mean.
Audit too.
That's what you mean.
How much do we owe? What will it take?
So tupitishe bill kwa wanaume waonyesha alafu sasa sisi kama serikali.
The same way we will talk about, of course. Najua that's maybe Herculean task because at a wealth declaration ya individuals ni ngumu. But this wealth declaration ya country, it's good for us to know.
Yeah, we will do that. Serikali ni sirikali.
So that tomorrow the Chinese don't come and claim something over here.
No, like
and we are unaware.
Like the old adage saying in Greek, this is our Gedaka and nobody shall tunya us. What that means, this is
nobody shall bogo us.
Exactly. Yeah, so don't awaken our Gedaka manenos. Nobody shall tunya us.
Okay, quick. I had a clip for State of the Nation address, but I think it's portrayed. But let's talk about that. There was a State of the Nation address by the president. Yeah. He spoke until he got tired.
He was highlighting his progress, which was very good. Yeah?
Until he said, hey, kitu sasa.
Jamani, nimechoka.
Amefanya vitu vingi.
Amefanya vitu vingi bana. Amwamini. Excellency, congratulations. Hata sisi jamani tunafurahia.
Hata sisi tulichoka. Alama hizo zingine, you would have said like boy. Nimesoma ile nilipewa nisome.
Nimemaliza.
Wacha sasa niseme hapo. But anyway, there are those who feel like like his achievements are an exaggeration of sorts. I would ask this though. In the fullness of time, post the Uhuru presidency, what will we say? Kibaki, we have plenty to say now. In the fullness of time, what will we say about Uhuru?
Let me speak as one man who's entering the exclusive club of the presidents in Kenya. Tutakuwa wawili ama watatu. Mimi, Kibaki na Uhuru. So I'm very careful about what I'm about to say. So, presidents are always judged while they're in office. Nobody sees anything good Even me as I'm coming in, I'm aware of that fact. But that will not stop me from doing what I need to do. After I'm out of government, that's when we'll start hearing the JASIEl government. That government, there has never been a government like that one. They spoke about Kibaki. Oh, this thing, the economy. Now we talk about Kibaki really happened. So when you're looking at Uhuru, everyone is bashing the president. Everyone is bashing. So he had to sit there for like 3 hours and let you guys know what I've been doing.
It said he didn't even finish.
He didn't finish. Jamani, nimechoka.
Alisummarize your story.
Alisummarize. So ukimaliza hapo unasikia the members of parliament wanasema we wanted to know about the Pandora box. Manze jo brains sijui imeshrink, tunaanza Pandora ya nini sijui.
Okay, he had said he would come and say something.
Yeah.
I think that when he set the trap himself.
No, let me tell you. I love the president. He's a very smart man. He's a very smart man. Me, I have no problem with the progress he highlighted. Mpaka jameni tumechoka. My one issue with the president is his shortcomings. One thing which I told you will be my first pillar in my government, his fight against corruption. And allow me to explain. Now, we have a debt trillion of about 7.2 trillion Kenya shillings. So, now, Mr. President one time acknowledged and said, what do you want me to do? Mnataka nifanye nini? Jamani nimechoka lakini hiyo ni progress. Hii ingine ni what do you want me to do? Because he's fighting corruption from all angles. The judiciary is not getting headways with the judiciary. It's like a headmaster where you want to control the students, then discipline master, boarding master, what are against you. Here's the thing. JASIEl NJAU has no political enemies. JASIEl NJAU has no political friends. So nikiingia hii serikali hatujuani brother. Lazima utarudisha pesa ya corruption. And this is why the president acknowledged. Let me tell you, I have a great respect for the president. He's the first president in Kenya who has accepted he has been defeated by corruption while still in office. He says the office of the president will lose 2 billion shillings per day. Per month, that's 600.
It's 60.
60 billion.
60 B.
Times 12 is 720 B per year. So in a phase of 9 to 10 years, we are at 7 trillion shillings. So there was no need for us to borrow cash to build. Tuko nayo kwa corruption, turudishe, to invest, hakuna deni. But you see, mabeste wake ndio wako huko ndani. So watawaambia step aside, juu 80-90% of all corrupt guys ni wake. So ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching me, JASIEl NJAU is ready to fight for you. Corruption manenos, we bring this money back. We pay our debt.
Na mbona tusilegalize? Sometimes I ask myself, to legalize tu hiki tu.
Gani?
Hii corruption, tuweke tu corruption fee. Vile kuna VAT. When you're doing your jobs, tenda ikikuja unaona hapo corruption tax. Hii wase watakula 5%. Najua wase you know what? Because we keep moving from one thing to another, saying the same thing year and year, yet not really fighting it. People go to court, people get acquitted, lack of evidence, lack of what, lack of witnesses, lack of,
If I say that, the next thing you legalize bag.
We even had some guys convicted. Imagine we have an MP that was convicted. Alienda kaonja beans kidogo akatoka.
Watch out MP. We have been discussing FKF. Sindio?
Yeah.
Ameshikwa juzi. Sasa ametoa 10 million. Okay? Caretaker committee. Nilikwambia caretaker committee. Step aside, deputy amechukua. So jamaa tuko na 400 million na tujui ilienda wapi, lakini next year yeye ni senator. Bro,
senator legit.
We need to fight corruption like we mean business.
We need to.
And the only person who can fight that corruption is JASIEl NJAU. I'm telling you.
Let me move on to roads. Eastlands, we outer ring road and Thika superhighway were named Nairobi's most dangerous roads, according to a National Transport and Safety Authority report. The latest report has said if the 13 kilometers ya outer ring yenu. Now Thika Road, these are the most dangerous roads in Nairobi, registering accidents daily. Yet they're so nice. Angalia barabara. What's wrong with us?
It's a case of reckless driving. You're not responsible.
You know how many pedestrians are hit under bridges?
Question. Good. Why are they going under bridges?
Under bridges tu. Kwanza hii outer ring hapo bali tumeonyesha tu hapo mbele kuna ka bridge.
Nilikwambia hii kitu ni mindset. Ni mindset. Wewe unaenda chini ya bridge nini na kuna footpath hapo. Unajua hata ukigongo uende kwa polisi sahi. Polisi wanamwambia ulikuwa wapi? Ulikuwa ambe dereva wewe enda huko. Hiyo tutoe. Number 2, these guys wale wana drive that way. Unajua Kenyans we tend to forget quickly. That's we have a short memory. Potholes ilikuwa ina to slow down. Sasa ni highway. Sasa ni mbio. Teke. Weka hiyo mafuta tuone itafika wapi mwisho. Hii ni super highway. Right? So in the end we cause deaths even to people who don't deserve. I one time interviewed one of the chairman of disabled committees. He was a manager at KQ. Okay? He was hit around TRM by a drunk guy and he remained immobile for the rest of his life. So we are even causing deaths to so many people. We need to get to a place, if we are going to do it like Stato or the rest, because that's where we are heading to. We need to pay fines, heavy fines, that unaenda pole na hiyo gari. That's the only way. Ukishikwa, unalipa kama 50k, mtu akifikiria 50k vile ilimcost.
Yeah.
Because hata ukiweka alcohol blow pale, hiyo ni another.
There's still a lot of drunk driving. There's this case that's ongoing, and I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yeah.
The one that they say a senior policeman's son was involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Police have not come out to say that it is so.
Yeah.
But you know, the rumor mills are abound, social media is abound, the guys who too. Nowadays, as I was telling you, there's a camera everywhere. Unapata ajali, there's someone recording. Out of 2-3 people, somebody will show up there with a camera and will take what's going on. So it's very difficult now to hide and say this was not happening. But you know, behind the case and such things, one wonders whether the NTSA or the police department, one of them should come up with a very serious investigative department on matters accident. And then not only should they investigate and find out why exactly this happened, they should follow it up with the education. You know, it's not. It's the what's it called? The reports that are churned out of this kind of commission, so to speak, are only useful if they are actually disseminated to the public. For example, in driving schools, if you're going to go driving school and you're going to be taught how to drive a car, then I think you should also watch a film or two on accidents, on what the car can do to you. Maybe you should take a trip to the hospital and go to the ward, the spinal injury area.
I like your thinking.
And get to see what people are undergoing there. Border riders especially, you know, pedestrians. If you're a driver of any, you should get to know that this car you're driving, this pikipiki you're driving, this is what it can cause. Should you drive it badly?
You see, let me go next. I like your thinking. That's why you're my foreign affairs minister. I'm telling you, I like your thinking. Because as long as Nongia presidency, Nongia foreign affairs. No, because your mindset. I had a trip one time to the morgue. I wrote a book, and I said, before people die, it's like they know where they are going. So after the speaking engagement, one guy came and said, JASIEl, what you said is true. I said, I've spoken for 1 hour. What do you mean? He said, the part of dying. I said, what do you mean? He said, I work at the morgue, but don't tell my people. That's my work. Come visit us. Let me tell you, fast forward, that trip at the morgue changed my thinking to the point where I realized what Miles Monroe said.
I'm doing a show at the morgue soon. That's so interesting. 59 minutes. Behind the scenes. It's good for people to get a feel of some of these things.
I realized what Miles Monroe said. The cemetery is the richest place. For me, it gave me a sense of purpose to fulfill and pursue. That's why I'm running for president. Okay? Now, if you do that to Kenyans, it's a good idea. But Kenyans, me kama president, najua Kenyans ni mangomi. They will feel fine than a morgue visit. Like in, is it China?
You think that hardcore?
Wait, is it China or Japan where they're fighting corruption, where you get a tour in the prisons and you see the former ministers who are jailed to give you a picture of if you do corruption. What you're saying is a good start towards it. But current measures, It should be fine.
Because maybe we should care. Because NTSA just said this week, ukienda kwa roads during this December period, please care. Give someone away. You know, sometimes mtu ataki kupatia njia. Ala kulock manzena ni 1 second.
Mimi naelewa ni pressure. Ni pressure hii serikali. Na that's why serikali yetu itasaidia ipunguze hii pressure. Bro, ni pressure. Wewe unapiga honi pia ule pia anapiga honi.
Okay.
Yeah, ni pressure.
Haya.
So,
let me move on to mambo ya pressure na elections. IEBC has banned Harambes from December 9th. Kama unaenda Harambee, ni leo ni 6th. 7th, 8th, 9th, the last day. After 9th, no more Harambes unless it's your own fundraiser. Good thing, bad thing?
Good thing.
So, hizi marambe tunaona kwa makanisa, manini, itakuwa ngumu sasa.
Inagonga vipindi re.
The idea is IEBC is trying to get the electorates not to choose people using tunes, which is difficult. They could not cap the spending. Do you think they'll cap this story? We'll do Harambes by other means. People, kuna empowerment. Empowerment sio Harambee.
Kwa hiyo machache, I'll be launching my till number in about 1-2 months for your support. Your presidency.
Hakuna kitu hapo.
I'll be launching because I also need support. Si ni fundraising. Fundraising yangu ni Kenya. Mimi nilikwambia unajua the old question has been the old adage question. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? And we saw by history.
Yeah.
So the question now is, can anything good come out of Eastlands? Of course, yes. JASIEl.
You're that guy.
The next president.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of your competitors and his party, Ford Kenya.
Si nakwambia nanda rudia hii statement.
Ford Kenya. Wapi logo ya Ford Kenya? Kuna logo ya Ford Kenya hapo.
Sema others of your others.
Well, unajua Ford Kenya is a very serious party from back in the day. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was in this party. Before it was Ford Kenya, it was Ford with Matiba and Jaramogi. Alafu wakasplinter, Jaramogi akaenda Ford Kenya, akaenda na kina Wamalu wa kijana, akina Mokisa Kitui, akina Mosikari Kombo. Eventually, Raila was also a leader in that party, akatoka. Right now, Ford Kenya is in the hands of one Moses Wasika Wetangula, Senator Bungoma. But Ford Kenya is split as we speak. There's some guys who have left this party. They're going to launch a new party by 14th of December. I don't know now called what. There was new Ford Kenya kakufa wakati walimerge na Jubilee. I don't know what they'll call this other one coming.
This is why I love this show with you.
Yeah.
You know history. I don't need to explain. You have just summarized. It was a national party, now it is a local party. Where we going?
It's a village party.
It's a village party. Wewe ndio umeisema vizuri sana. Hii ni watu wa nyumbani wanasumbuana tu. Let us deal with national matters. Na ndio nilikwambia DP Ruto, Baba.
So niseme vitu kama hizo hapa kwa hiyo.
Sasa others tu nilikwambia si watambwingwi. Watu wengine wapangwingwi, mimi si watambwingwi. So how many others? Let's move on.
Ford Kenya wamekusikia. Tuona moto. There's a gentleman who passed on. Unfortunately, his name is Bishop Godfrey Migwi. He was trending. Peter. Bishop at one of the churches in Kayole. And he was running for MP Madioya 2022. Just on matters death. What does it teach you?
For me to live is Christ and to die is gain. So I need to ask myself, is my death going to be a gain? Is it going to be a lesson for someone or a teaching for someone? Matters vision. You can get to a place where you can plan, but you know God at the end of the day. I love one of the documentaries of President Moi where he says, man, inagoga ameandika kwa book blackboard. Okay? If you zoom, Moi anakwanga ameandika, man proposes, God disposes. Achia Mungu. Do your bit.
As you plan for 2022, it's a real wake up call.
It's a real wake up call.
Panga tu lakini.
We panga. Unajua, I love what my dad told me one time nikiingia ministry. Aliniambia, make sure, I'm a political preacher. Make sure, kuna watu wameitwa, kuna watu walijiita, na kuna watu waliitika tu. Hata wajui kama wameitwa na Mungu, waliitika. Na kuna watu waliitwa, na kuna watu walijiita. 2022 jichague. Kama uliitwa, kama ulijiita, kama uliitika tu na hata hakuna mtu alikuita.
Yeah, let's talk about the commander. That also happened last week.
Kenya One.
AKA Kenya One. Weka commander hapo tumuone. The CAS for suspense Pastor Doctor James Ganga of Sasa TV for 6 months for airing inappropriate content.
What was the
now let me ask.
What was the inappropriate
he said some unprintable words, And let me tell you something. Isn't it a sad day that it has taken a TV station owned by a Christian entity or church to be suspended over vulgarity? Inasema nini?
Reconnect. Watu wako na mafuta.
Wewe ni pastor, hebu niambie. Imagine, did you ever think it was a pastor's church that would end up suspended?
Unajua, there is something you want to get out of me.
Yeah, nothing, sema.
There's something you want to get out of me.
Wewe ndio political preacher hapa, wewe ndio mimi hata mimi.
Sikatai, political preacher nini, sikatai. Lakini unajua kuna sample ya watu wengine.
What's wrong with you guys?
Umesikia ngoma ya Calligraph Jones? Champes.
Unasikia Calligraph Jones?
Buddha, I'm familiar with my environment.
The OG.
The OG. Machampes, wachana nao. Machampes wachana. Hata kama media imeona blackout. Sawa, wameona kile wanaona. Sawa.
Na komanda alisema haujasuspendiwa na Mungu.
Sasa nimekwambia Champes, ndio Champes. Ndio Champes. Alafu unajua
ufanye hizi zenu hapa chini.
Yeye ni Champes wake bana. So kuna fika mahali muangalia mtu unasema we kama umeona yeye ni Champes na anakubamba sawa. Lakini yeye as an individual. Ajisort na Jajare.
Ajisort,
Ajisort na Jajare.
We are running out of time. There are 3 things that are coming up this week. Number 1, which we have to talk about. The 3 things coming up this week. Number 1 is December 10th. Odinga.
Baba.
One of your competitors.
Now that is a good word, competitors. Tuko na capacity. 3 of us, we have the capacity. What about?
He's launching his campaigns officially.
Ameanza.
Yeah.
Alafu DP afuata alafu.
Of course, it's been an open secret that he's campaigning. He has been saying he's not campaigning, but it is what it is. Yeah. And people are expecting a Kasarani for that. Yeah. Your thoughts? Baba is going to, he says there's something he's surprising us with. Do you think it's a running mate? Because it can't be him. He can't be surprising us by telling us he's running. We know.
He always runs.
We know he's running.
The good thing about Baba.
What's the surprise? That's what I want to ask you.
The good thing about Baba, he runs. Even at the ballot box, I will just leave him running.
He says there's a surprise. What's the surprise?
It's a surprise. Baba is an enigma. As much as he's my competitor, I admire my competitors. I just admire. He's an enigma. And try to create the hype, the mode. Now, the worst thing he can do sahi ni ane DP wake. Akuena surprising in lakini asitaje DP.
So what's the surprise?
I'm running. Kuna kingine kweli?
Yeah?
Surprise ya Baba. I'm running. Ajai kwa amesema. Mtafika huko msikie tu. Nikwambia. Nimekubali. I'm running. I don't see any other surprise. Apart from DP. Na aki-announce DP sahi. Me and me tell you. We'll be back here after next week. Atakuwa amechoma.
The other thing is DP. Lots of talk about DP and Rigathi Gachagua. They say he hinted that it might be Rigathi.
Remember the first episode I told you?
Did he hint?
Yeah.
Is it true?
What he's trying to do is testing the waters. But let me tell you. I also have my DP. But here's the thing.
Mbona unanipatia foreign minister na unataka kunipatia DP? Now that we are talking DPs.
Mzee napenda hii faith. Yaani mpaka sasa unaenda kunegotiate DP.
Mbona unataka kunipatia DP? Unanipatia hii.
Unajua kwa nini? Wacha nikwambie. Hizi ni hesabu. Nimekuona niko na wote nimekuza mkuu huko nje. Nikifight corruption huko chini. 3 years sitoki hii country, naweza tuma Levi Connors na sitaaibika, naweza lala, hakuna aibu.
So sitoshi kuwa DP. No, that's what I'm getting. That's the message right there.
Build capacity. Sikiza, build capacity ya 5 years. My last term nikupatie DP, nikitoka niambia watu 10 yake iko sawa tu.
Your last term.
Sahi, I need you foreign affairs.
So
now here's the thing.
Back to the DP.
DP ana test waters. Na hata nikwambie ukweli, kama wanataka free advice from their competitor, the seat of a DP, you must have the capacity to be a kingmaker. If Ruto, the DP is in Western, you are in Mombasa, you must get the clout to match. Let me ask you, Rigathi Gachagua inaweza haiwezi? Unaona hata unashinda kujibu.
Mimi sitaki kutoa maoni.
Unaona? No,
unauliza watazamaji.
Inaweza haiwezi.
Who knows? It's a toss up. It's early days.
Who made Kibaki president? Who made Kibaki president?
Tu baba.
Exactly. Kibaki tosha, si ndio? Who made Uhuru president in terms of the tag team duo? Because you see, every re-election, presidents in the president's book, every re-election is not based on the president. It's based on the factors of what he did in the first term. But for him to come in, there is a tag team that is needed. When you have Barack Obama, you have a Biden, okay? Who can unify the charisma and everything. So when you're looking at these numbers, you're looking at your number 2 guy. Is a task that one for Kenya, he has to be endorsed with all the communities. He can feel when people talk, people can say, by the way, we are going to give Ruto based on the DP. Levi Connors. I mean, siwezi kuweka DP side. Hapana, meenda foreign affairs. So you are Rigathi now wengine, and I'll be unveiling mine again sisa.
Right. There's trouble in Nairobi. There's a guy called Paul Mutunga who was named deputy governor, who the EACC wrote a letter saying,
kuna kesi
tuna oppose his story. You think
money laundering, taking property by force, alafu mnampatia DP, mnampatia deputy governor.
Do you think that holds any water? Because sometimes we see these things. I mean, this is the same country that says somebody forged their papers and became MP. But alikuwa cleared by EACC, alikuwa cleared by ABC, alikuwa cleared by our wengine wote. The bodies that. Do you think they have the credibility now? EACC.
They don't have. It's like.
And that's not the only case. We've got cases of other guys also with questionable backgrounds.
It's the question of a barking dog that cannot bite. Just barks. But the points they're raising is something Kenyans need to ponder. And like we've been saying on this show, okay? They're like the history man who once said, I was blind, but now I see. When you keep doing this, probably what you're doing, you're opening the eyes of the people, legitimacy that come next year, people will begin to ask certain questions. Last time you asked me, and you told me one of my others has declared he has 300 million and is running for president. Then you asked me if I'll declare. Mimi hata nilikuja na KBS juzi. Nini na declare? Hata ni declare. But you see, those accountability measures, people are beginning to see, can we trust you to work with government or to work for us on our behalf? Because we need somebody who is honest, trustworthy. Kenyans are tired. And so like the poll issue, what EACC is trying to raise, they don't want it to go under their radar that they were not aware. They just want to let the public know we were aware, we said it, but they still elected him. The system, if you ask me, system will still push it.
I see.
You get it?
All right. We're out of time. Next week, you're not here because of Jamhuri Day. It's being celebrated at Uhuru Gardens this time. Only 10,000 people are attending. Because have you been to Uhuru Gardens? Mona the things
we discussed in the development.
Unaona vile watu wanajenga vitu huko. We talked. Have you been there? Umepita hapo nje?
Nimepita nje.
Uhuru Gardens kuna mambo yanaendelea huko. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of see.
We should take 59 minutes. We cover
what they're doing at Uhuru Gardens. So Uhuru Gardens on Sunday. I think Monday, Kenyans are waiting to hear that Monday is a holiday. to be honest.
Hata
mimi nasema tu show itakuwa ni holiday just because we are participating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will be a holiday, but
probably they want to unveil and probably let Kenyans see what we'll be doing behind the scenes, so that you can get confidence for Uhuru Park.
Yeah.
Sione ni kama kuna hoteli inajengwa.
Nasikia Uhuru Park ukirusha drone huko inarushiwa mawe.
Yeah.
Iko chini.
So it's going to be it's going to be an interesting day.
You know, they call guys who operate drones pilots.
Ni vision poa. Hata ukiwa driver wa matatu unaitangoje ni aje?
And you can get a license for I think it's 30,000 above.
Yeah.
And you can be called a pilot.
Then ukiingia you envision flying.
I tell you.
That's how we started with the presidency, by the way.
That's how we started.
Yeah. You envision. You travel nations, you meet the former president of Zambia, Chiluba, you meet the former president Thabo Mbeki, you meet President Uhuru at Pan-African Parliament, and finally the seed that was in you, the seed that God has planted, start saying, ikitu ulikuwa umeniita ukweli.
Kumbe inaweza.
Umeniita ukweli.
15 seconds, we have to go.
I have to talk to my people. We're in foreign affairs, you're okay. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, my name is JASIEl, aka Fadela, your presidential candidate 2022, the alternative choice. Mambo mapya, mambo fresh. Are you tired and sick and tired of the political class? Hey, let's give it a try. Sina kitu, but niko na kitu ya ikiti. What do you have that you can merge with me, and let's bring Kenya and rebrand it and refresh it? It's a new dawn in Kenya post 2022, and I believe you and I, Jehova kipindile wakiona sisi, tutatoboa hii kitu. Foreign Affairs Minister ameshakubali, wewe ndio unakungojea.
Well, from here all I can just say is have a less noisy morning than what you just had. See you tomorrow, God willing. That's 59 minutes for today.
Good one.